Who would have thought at the end of March there would be all the sun? It's like short sweller t-shirt. Fantastic. Probably unrealistic, of course, that this will last. But the last week of March now for the UK and most of the north of Ireland here has been fantastic. So can't complain. Slightly odd to see it, but you know, nevertheless, we will not complain. Few updates just from the greenhouse. I sowed this tray of zinnias. It's half and half, so half a nice magenta pink, purple prince, and the other side is zinnia golden state, which is like a nice orange colour. So 30 and 30. And like, I would say I must have sowed these less than 10 days ago anyway, so those are only about a week old. Looking fantastic. 4 salvia cuttings from last, let me see, must have been last September. 2 look to be successful. Oh, maybe 3 actually. There's a wee bud on this one. 1 hasn't done at all, but I mean, that's to be expected. 3 out of 4 will not complain. Let me see what's in this tray. Kale. Kale is something I'm gonna grow this year. Not for edible use. Well, I mean, I'll not rule it out. I'll maybe try it. More so for decorative use. And then below me, just at my feet here, and excuse the mess, are all trays of calungia that I repotted 2 days ago. And down here on the sandpit is 2 trays of cerinthe as well, again repotted, and then just 2 trays of seeds here, scabosa, and let me see, Eryngium, Erigion, the Mexican fleabane daisy. So some wee shit's coming through there, but nothing exciting to report yet. And yeah, I'll nip out to the tunnel because that's where everything's at the minute. Yeah, down here is some of the autumn sowing seedlings. So it's mostly a tray of geum, and then the rest is stackies, which is the lamb's ears. So yeah, those are all autumn sowed, and I also repotted them earlier in the week. And just foxgloves there behind. And then yeah, the tunnel, this is kind of where everything's happening at the minute. So some echinacea there, some yellow verbascum, a tray of purple verbascum. Let me see what's in this one. Another tray of a different type of geum. A tray of lychnis, which is the bright vivid pink flower that I like. This one here is Ami Magus, and I just run my hand through it like this here, which looks a wee bit odd, but it kind of sort of replicates wind. So if you do that sometimes with seedlings, it actually hardens them up. Another tray of echinacea, but they're not as far on. This is a tray of Mullenbegia, I think. It's a type of grass. Yes, and then some fuchsia cuttings and a hydrangea cutting. And yeah, more seed sowing today, I think. Out of all my aeoniums that overwintered, I've only lost 3 in total, which is quite good. I mean, ideally I would love them all to have survived, but we'll just take it a day at a time. 3 out of the remainder isn't a big loss. So yeah, updates to come. And as if I don't have enough plants already, I've ordered more seed trays. Now, before you judge me on plastic, these are, and what I always brag about, not sponsored, I'm not that popular, let's face it, the Charles Dowding C60 seed tray. So they're reinforced recycled plastic, made in the UK. They ship to NI, ROI and all of mainland. They have a really good sort of massive drainage hole at the bottom. It's really handy as well when you're lifting seedlings out because they come up through nicely, they root really well. Good sort of airflow as well with them. And then of course compost. I don't really have a ratio, but just to I sort of know by looking at it, just a really good perlite, sorry not perlite, a really good vermiculite consistency through. Peat free, of course, because that's how the world is moving, and rightly so, we need to. Peat free compost in Northern Ireland was very difficult to source last year, but thankfully more places now have it available, so I have stocked up, and I just want to fill these trays nicely, and then I'll steep them before I sow, just so the compost is nice and moist. But you can see they're just so lovely to work with. And then I'll tap it just. And that is perfect. So I normally sow my usual 30-30. I like to have 30 plants either side, and if I'm sowing different plants from different sort of families, I try and sow plants that have the same succession time, so everything's ready at the same date, so I'm not left with half a tray empty and half a tray full. I like to clear each tray as I go and then just start fresh, and these are for life, these trays. I hope to have them for years, and I can just reuse them year on year. So it is a big investment at the start, but after that, they're great. And here it is, Operation Sowing. I'll rotate the camera slightly. So I have just my big tray filled with some water. I have 3 seed trays in the background there that have already been sowed. And as you can see, I've made a temporary ginger shade zone with factor 50 applied, so I can still sow comfortably whilst protected from the sun, because I am not designed for too much natural sunshine. I'm sowing another batch of echinacea. So echinacea is a plant that I really struggle to grow, and I have per germination rates usually with it. So I did a batch of 40 back in the autumn. I got 4. I done a batch of 40 at the end of Feb, just going into March, and I got 17, and now we're at the end of March going into April, and I'm going to do a batch of 30, and I'm going to do the other 30 with this lovely agastache. It's a really lovely sort of apricot-y orange colour, and this one's called Apricot Sprite. There's only 30 seeds in this one, so I've really been holding out for that one. I didn't want to do that one any earlier, just in case it was colder, but now I think we kind of have normal nice temperatures now. Even in the evenings it's a wee bit milder. I feel it's safe enough to sow. So I'll not bore you with the sowing bit, I'll do that now, and then we'll review this in a wee second. So today is Mother's Day. We're at the very end of March, and also the clocks went forward last night. I had obviously sown a lot of seeds from yesterday, but they're still in the greenhouse. And I also got home at 2 in the morning last night, so I definitely know there was some ground frost about, which is just so handy. That's why through the day, because it's going to be really warm today, I think it's going to be highs to 15, I can bring all the seedlings out from the tunnel I can try and let them climatise anywhere between above 5 degrees and onwards, I suppose. And then at night I'm just bringing them in to shelter them. But also there'll be some dull days. Apparently it's given sleet for later on in this week, so the start of April we're going to have some sleet. But it's how it is. You just need to keep your eye at the weather at this time of the year, because it could so easily just get caught out that just because it's great through the day doesn't mean to say in the evening time that weather duplicates itself. So today's mission, or this morning's mission, is to bring all the seedlings out and this evening put them all back in. So I think this will end this video for this weekend. Below here, oops, over here, is some of the 600 seeds I sowed yesterday. And up here is the ones I did this morning. And in the back there, the root running pods have sunflower seeds in them. I've never actually actively set out to grow sunflowers, so that's another new thing I'm doing this year, so I'm excited for that. It was actually my Secret Santa present that I got at work. So somebody bought me sunflower seeds, which was quite a good shout because I was genuinely looking for them and it wasn't prompted. So that was a good shout on that behalf. So there's like a red one called Red Sun, Russian Giant, and Italian White. So they're quite interesting varieties. I don't really know much about sunflowers, so sort of looking forward to the progress in that. And then over here is Dorothy. Dorothy is my clivia. She was given to me by a lady who is also called Dorothy, so very creative choice of name. But yeah, Dorothy has been looking a wee bit unhappy, and to be honest, since I've had her, I don't know, I never seem to give her the TLC that she deserves or wants. So I just repotted it and just tidied up the surface with some hydroclay pebbles. So hopefully, and a drink of liquid seaweed, hopefully that'll sort of boost that foliage, green it up a wee bit, and hopefully, fingers crossed, get a flower. Because I've never managed to get a flower from Dorothy. So yeah, thank you for watching. And if you've any questions, or you want to know more, or you want a video on a specific thing, drop me a comment and I'll hopefully be able to do it. Cheers!